If you can't touch your toes, I'm going to show you how to get there in 4 weeks. If you don't know who I am, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the over 50s specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be giving you my simple program to help you touch your toes no matter where your starting point is in the space of just 4 weeks. Now, for many people who can't touch their toes, there are one of 4 things that are stopping them from getting down to the floor. Now, if any of these areas are stopping you from bending forward and touching your toes, I'm going to show you how to fix each one in this video. So let's have a look at the 4 exercises. The ones that you should do are the ones that feel like they're having the most benefit. They shouldn't cause pain, so don't do them if they're sore. If there's a specific reason you shouldn't do these because your doctor has recommended you shouldn't, then definitely avoid them. Get checked out by your healthcare professional before you try them. But let's have a look at the movements and exercises now. So as I mentioned, to be able to touch your toes, you need 4 things. The first thing you need is flexibility of your lower back. So the lower spine needs to be able to flex and bend to allow you to get down to the floor. The second thing you need is mobile hips, because as we bend forward like this, the first thing that bends is the spine, but then the hips also have to be able to bend to allow you to get down. The third thing you need is flexible hamstrings, and your hamstrings are at the back of the thigh here. And if we try and bend with tight hamstrings, we might get to there, and then a pulling at the back of the leg is going to prevent us from getting further. And then the fourth thing we need, similar to the hamstring tightness, is flexibility to the sciatic nerve, which is the nerve that goes all the way down the back of the leg, right down into the heel and then down into the toes as well. And the sciatic nerve is stretched when we bend forward with straight legs, and it feels more like a nervy sensation of tightness than a muscular pull at the back of the legs. So all of those 4 components need to come together to allow us to bend forward and touch the floor. I'm going to show you an exercise for each one of the 4. Only do it if it feels comfortable. Give them a try, and hopefully this will improve your ability to bend forward and you'll touch your toes within 4 weeks. If you're going to touch your toes in the space of just 4 weeks, the first thing we need to loosen up is the lower back. Because if we're standing like this and we try and touch our toes and we can't get any further than this, it could be that your back is too stiff to allow you to bend. So this first exercise helps to loosen up a stiff lower back if there's tight muscles there, if the joints aren't moving well. It's a simple exercise. We do it from sitting, and you're going to sit on a nice firm surface like the one I'm on now, with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent to about 90 degrees. 2 hands on your knees like this, and we're just going to start by bending the spine and rolling ourselves forward. Now remember, don't do this any further than feels comfortable. If you're really stiff, you might only get to here, and then you can bring yourself back up like this. Now, this isn't really a stretch, this is a mobilization. So we're going to go into the movement and then back out of the movement like this. Now, if I was to go to my maximum, I'd take my feet just slightly further apart and then go all the way down. I can go down to the floor like this. And at this point, I feel a stretch in my back. So if I get down to here, I might take a deep breath in and out, and then allow it to relax, and then bring myself back up. Now, to loosen up a lower back, I usually recommend people do about 5 of these in a row, several times a day. Just trying to go an inch further each time when they do it. And if you feel the stretch is happening at your back, that's a good sign. That means that you're working on the right thing to loosen up your back. But if you feel your hip is the problem and you can't get any further because your hip is stiff, the next exercise is going to help you fix that. So now we've loosened up the lower back, the next thing that's going to stop us from touching our toes is a stiff hip. So this exercise is all about improving this movement here called flexion. Okay, so bringing your knee up to your chest is hip flexion. So you're going to lie on your back to do this exercise, and the first thing you're going to do, 1 hip at a time, is just bring the leg up like this and grasp behind the thigh. Now you want your head and your shoulders to stay relaxed, and all you're going to do is hug your knee up towards your chest just until you get to the point of resistance, and then you're going to relax, and then you're going to hug it up again just to resistance and relax, and up again and relax, and up again. So we're just moving into a little bit of stiffness. We're not going into pain. If this causes a major pinch, don't do it. It should just feel like it's on the edge of stiffness. If pain happens here, you're only going to go to here. Okay, so we're just going to go here. And what you'll find is with several repetitions, probably 15 to 30 in a row, that pinch point might get higher. So you're allowed to come a little bit further up as it moves. And you'll find that over the course of a few weeks doing this, you might start here and end up here just by doing this a few times a day for about 30 repetitions each time. Obviously, once you've done this side, you're going to swap over and again, just into resistance. So up and down, up and down, up and down. The idea here is to be using your arms to do this. So the hip should stay relaxed. We're not trying to use our hip muscles. It's the arms doing the work. But make sure you keep your head on the pillow just so you don't strain your neck. So that's a great way to start to improve hip mobility. Once you can get your legs right up on both sides, they won't be the problem for getting down. The next problem you're going to have is probably tightness in the hamstrings, which is a big cause of many people not being able to touch their toes. I'm going to show you how to fix that now, but before I show you it, I just want to say that 88% of people who watch these videos have not yet subscribed to the channel. If that's you, go down, hit subscribe, it's totally free, but then you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out, and it really helps the channel. So thank you so much if you do that. Now let's talk about how to fix tightness in the hamstrings. So we're only going to do this exercise if it feels comfortable, and basically what it's going to do is stretch the back of the thigh. So same position as before, you're going to lie on your back with both knees bent up. You're going to bring one leg up just so we've got a 90-degree angle here, and we're just going to hold behind the thigh. And now all we're going to do to stretch the hamstrings is lift that foot up by extending the knee. Now look at my foot at the top. If you can see that, my foot is staying relaxed. I'm not pulling my toes up towards me, because what that does is it stretches the sciatic nerve. And what we're trying to do is stretch these muscles here. So you can see I'm a little bit tight in my hamstrings. I can't get my knee fully straight, but my foot remains relaxed throughout. So it's a floppy foot really. But I can feel the pull here. And once I've got the pull, I'm just going to hold it there, just supporting it for 30 seconds. So quite a long hold. Now, what we're not looking for is a 10 out of 10 pain. Okay, we just want probably a 5 or a 6 out of 10 in terms of discomfort. It should feel like a pleasant pull. It shouldn't feel painful. It should just feel like a stretching sensation. Now, once I've done 30 seconds, I would repeat with the other side. So again, support the leg, foot stays relaxed and then straighten. And I'm wanting to feel it here. So down the back of the thigh, not really in the calf because my foot's relaxed, not down in the toes. I don't want pins and needles and numbness. I just want a pulling sensation here. So support it like this. Some people would prefer to have their hip further up and their knee less straight. Others would prefer to have their hip further down and their knee straighter. Now, both of these positions stretch the hamstring, so just do what feels natural for you. I like this 90-degree angle here, and then I can see how close I can get my leg to straight. Hold for 30 seconds. You only need to do it once on each side, but try and come back to it a couple of times a day. Ideally 2 or 3 times would be perfect throughout the course of the day. So that's your hamstring stretch. And if you've done all of those things and you still can't get to the floor, the next thing we need to solve is sciatic nerve tightness. And we do this in a different way to how we stretch the hamstrings, but in the same position. So this is the exercise I would recommend you do to help you with sciatic tightness. Now, if you have sciatica, these 2 exercises, the one I showed you just now and this one, might not be suitable, but let's have a look at them anyway. Just proceed with caution if you do. So what we're going to do, same position like this, and this time we're going to bring the leg up again, just as we did before with the foot relaxed, and the head is going to stay on the pillow. Now what we're going to do while we're here is come straight back down, but as we do it, we're just going to lift the chin and lift the head. Okay, and now we're going to go back down. So head goes down, leg comes up, and now we're going to do leg comes down, head comes up. Now, this is a funny type of exercise called nerve flossing, or neural flossing, or neurodynamics is another word for it. And basically it works off the premise that the entire nervous system is connected. So if we move the head, that moves the nervous system at one end, and if we move the leg, that moves the nervous system at the other end. And what we can effectively do is floss the nerve through tight spaces in the back and leg and allow it to glide a little bit more freely. So as I lift my head, I'm putting tension on with my head, but taking it off with my leg. And as I drop my head and lift my leg, I'm taking tension off with my head and putting it on with my leg. Now, similar to the other one, you're going to alternate for about 30 seconds. So it's probably about 15 repetitions. And you're going to come up like this and then up like this. So we're doing both sides. So straightening the leg and letting the head relax, and then lifting the head and letting the leg relax. And we just alternate between the two. It shouldn't feel like any drastic stretch is happening. It should actually feel really gentle. If you're doing this exercise correctly, there shouldn't be any pain. If you're doing it wrong, you might feel a horrible pulling, which means you're either lifting it too far or you've accidentally lifted your head and your leg at the same time, which can be quite painful. So we only want to lift one at the same time. So as your leg is coming down, that's when you lift your head. So alternate between those two positions, 30 seconds on each leg, again a couple of times a day. That combination is a killer combination for getting you down to your toes, and I hope you manage to reach them in just 4 weeks. So that's how to touch your toes in 4 weeks flat. If you find one of these exercises useful, just stick with it for a period of 4 weeks, and over time you'll notice that your ability to bend forward and touch your toes increases steadily by the day. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do leave a comment below because I love to read your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, you can go on Amazon and pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.